The findings of a survey by energy think tank, the Institute for Energy Security, has revealed there is the less likelihood that Italian oil giant Eni and Springfield impasse may dampen investor confidence and repel investors into the upstream petroleum sector. In its policy document, the IS said the current incident is seen as a normal one in the industry and not unique to Ghana, and for that matter, no investor may be deterred simply by the disagreements. Executive Director of the Institute for Energy Security, Nana Mwesi VII, joins me with more on this. Grateful that you could join us tonight. Highlight for us some of the findings based on your research.
Thank you very much, Daryl. Good evening to you and to your viewers. Could you please come back with your question?
Yes, I was asking what the findings were, if you could highlight some of the findings on your research.
What we did was to review documents that was publicly available, communication between government, the Eni, and Springfield. So this is one work that we did. And what we did find out is that there is evidence of straddling of the reservoirs of the two blocks. And so the issue about one oil moving to the other, it's something that has been dealt with by document that we reviewed. As a matter of fact, Eni and Vitol conducted a technical evaluation of the Afina discovery belonging to Springfield in relation to Eni's Sankofa field. And it's established that there is, straddling of field. The issue about dynamic communication that Eni has been using as basis, at a point you could find that they are unsure, and they concluded that we don't have enough data to suggest and conclude that there is no hydraulic communication between the two. What we also did find out is that the Petroleum Commission has facilitated exchange of data between these two parties. And some of this data is what they use to conduct the technical evaluation of the Afina discovery. The next is that both parties, Eni and Springfield, are not against the concept of unitization. What Eni is very much concerned with is for determination of the tract participation. And so this is one part of the work that we did. The second part is also do a survey and sample views of Ghanaians, sample views of industry players. And so from the media, civil society organization, academia, the petroleum industry, and also the business community, we sampled views on some issues, including asking the question whether the ongoing disputes or the impasse will affect business confidence or will deter investors from participating in the upstream industry of Ghana's petroleum sector.
And so based on the findings, and like you point out, we shouldn't be worried about investor interest in the petroleum upstream sector. And then one of your findings was that government should break its silence on the matter. Why is that important, and what results would we achieve by doing so?
Well, first, through the sampling of view, we did find out that some Ghanaians, or some of the respondents, because some of the respondents are not Ghanaians, so I would say that the public, some of them are quite worried because they believe that disputes may send a wrong signal to investors. And when we talk about investors, we are not only talking about foreign investors, but local investors as well. But others, or bulk of them, also believe that there is nothing much to be worried about, but it's a normal industry, thing that plays out. You can remember what happened between Ivory Coast and Ghana when it came to the boundary dispute. It was resolved. But in fact, they didn't make it clear that what is most important is a political will to resolve the issue when they arise. And in this, fairness, transparency are very key to making the two parties comfortable with the final, resolution of the matter. And time is also of essence, because the more the issue prolongs, the bad signal is sent, because businessmen and women or the community want to see continuity in their business. So this is what we found. The next is that because government gave the directive, for how long will this directive linger, and for how long will the dispute also linger? And it's very important that government convey to the public what it has done so far, and how the two parties are cooperating to resolve the issue. Because whilst it delays, it has impact on our revenue, and it also has impact on building Ghanaian capacity.
What are the other recommendations you make?
Well, we did recommend to government that they should ensure that they facilitate the resolution of this impasse, ensure that there is fairness, there's transparency between the parties, where it is necessary to provide data to the two parties, or help them facilitate the exchange of data. Government should do so. The next thing is that government must get to the two parties, help them to possibly pull the problems or the issues off the table of courts, and seek for some form of settlement, because we understand Eni and Springfield are in courts. It might not serve so well for getting a quick resolution of the issue. If government can intervene and give some clear timelines as to how they need to proceed and resolve the matter, that would be good for Ghanaians.
All right, we have just about 2 minutes on this conversation, so I'm going to ask you something else while we have the opportunity to speak to you on the outlook for the oil and gas sector in this second half of the year. And right now we're seeing that the price of Brent crude is hovering close to $73 a barrel. What's your projection?
Well, it is good. You find that last 3 days, when Shell published the second quarter report, they have posted profit, something that they've not been able to do over the last 18 months. It means that the price is dealing fairly with them, and we've seen consumption also rise because the pandemic, we've seen some form of ease of lockdowns, and so mobility and productivity are surged. And so when demand goes up, you do expect the price will also be good for the industry, or will fare well for the players in the industry as against consumers. However, with the second wave, if we are not able to deal with it quickly, it will go to dampen consumption and of oil, and it can plunge down the price. But if the price keeps on staying at $70 per barrel, it's going to be good for the producers, and we're going to see more investment in the upstream sector of the petroleum industry. And so it's an issue of demand, and that will dictate where price will be. However, it will impact negatively on consumers.
All right, Nana Nwesi the 7th, Executive Director of the IS. I appreciate your time with us tonight. Hope to speak with you another time.